All right, sweet. So I can flip it back and forth. Cool, cool. We're gonna set this up right there for the time being. And then, sorry, I gotta get situated. This is always way more work than I intended to be. um, Man, I wonder if I went. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm doing it my way. Um, I need to get situated to look at this. I guess I am situated to look at this. We're gonna go through the stuff in my watch list, um, just because I want to. This is something I should be doing every week for myself, anyways. Um, but what I also want to do in this, sorry, I gotta flip some papers around if anyone's listening. Um, yeah, I'm gonna use this page. I want to. I don't even know what I was about to say. I've really lost my train of thought in the middle of that. I guess was gonna say I want to write stuff down to kind of hold myself accountable for what I'm gonna do, or to reanalyze it, if that makes sense. Like to go back and look at it and see how it performed. Um, but before we get too deep, I'm gonna I'm gonna flip this around. I don't think I'm doing anything against the rules on YouTube by doing this, am I? Like this isn't against the rules. Um, Try to get that centered up pretty well right there. Whatever. I'll make it work here in just a second. I'm gonna get a little smoky smoke as I get started and get situated here. So this is Bitcoin's chart, ticking live 24/7 like it always does. Gives me some interesting thoughts on um, I almost wish I was looking at it like right at New Year's. I mean, we could always click into those dates and see what was happening, but to see like if anyone trades in the market, like the live, and when you're looking at it through a past tense, it's completely different. How did I jump up to 20 viewers? There wasn't supposed to be anyone on here. Welcome, y'all. I'm just about to get started, but this is not financial advice, and I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So, yeah. Yo, what's up? I'm getting the Mountain Dew ready. I'm getting situated. This is the first time sharing my perspective on anything on YouTube, so take it with a grain of salt. I do day trade. And I teach people how to fight. I'm obsessed with fighting. We'll be going back and forth between the camera on here and on myself because I'm just making this up as I go. Last thing done. All right, let's get to it. So I want to go. We're going to look at things from about a 3-month standpoint. With all trading and everything, it's going to be like, how do you want to get in and out on the market? Now, when was it? I think it was mid-December. I was saying I'm getting the fuck out of Bitcoin, and we're going to go over different forms of ways that I get into Bitcoin. But once it broke, I think it was 98, falling below 98. I was like, fuck this. I'm fucking out. And I don't know when that was. I guess that was way back in fucking mid-November, not mid-December. It's been so long. I haven't been keeping up with Bitcoin because of this. I told myself I wasn't going to get back into Bitcoin in the spring. I anticipated it going down to either 77,000 or 74,000. We might go over that, but I don't really want to go over all that. Anyways, right now it's coming up to 91. It's at 91.7. You can just look at here. I do my trading really simple. And if anyone has any thoughts on how they do their trading, feel free. But if let me zoom in, right here is where I'm wanting to zoom in. I gotta move my chart around a little bit. So this would have been around the 12th of December. These are on 1 hour candles. It dropped from 92 to 89. So the way I look at things, if you look at things like I do, and you don't have to like be that specific, I'm going to fast forward it. So this is where we're at right now. 91, did that even get? So it got up to 92.055. So it hit 92 at least. The last time it was up here, it was fooling around forever, right in this range of what we're going to call 92,000 to, yeah, it's like 93. Does it even hit 93 in any of these? It doesn't. So there's going to be a shit ton of resistance at 92. Like I'm not going to pass 92. I don't anticipate it passing 92 in a day. If it does, that's still great. You still got resistance around 94. I'm still sticking with my gut on this, and I'm not fucking touching anything on Bitcoin until the spring when all this clears out. Just because that's a safety way to approach trading, in my opinion. There was something else I was about to throw in on this that I was thinking. I don't do a lot of shorts, guys. Like I approach the market more from a buy perspective. 92 would probably be an area I'm going to short if I'm going to short, but I'm going to tell you I'm not getting in on it. And if I'm shorting at 92, see, it's just a short range there. If I'm shorting at 92, I'm getting out at like 91.3. So there's not a lot of room to play. Like, because when it comes down to 91.3, it could totally fall right through it. But it's going to bounce. There's too much volatility and too much unpredictability with Bitcoin right now for me to want to do anything that's going to last more than a couple hours in a trade. But that's just my thoughts. What are y'all thinking? What is that? Soli Jizla? I'm horrible at enunciating stuff. Let me see. What you doing? We are trading. Y'all, if you guys are going to be watching this, you're going to say something like y'all. I don't know. Feel free to chime in with your thoughts or whatever. That was Bitcoin that we just went over. And I have the same perspective on all crypto right now. I'm not messing with crypto until spring. If I do on Bitcoin right now, it would be a short. Like I would be shorting Bitcoin at 92 if I was investing in Bitcoin. And I'm going to repeat this 1,000 times. This is not financial advice. I'm just actually kind of practicing this for myself, practicing talking and writing things down so that I can hold myself accountable. All right, so ETH, same fucking story, man. I guess ETH was the one I was deeper in when I was talking about mid-December is when I was like, fuck this. I wasn't ever that heavy into Bitcoin after summer. I had a little bit, but I didn't ever like take an L on it like I did with ETH. Sorry, I didn't realize the camera was off. I was messing around with ETH like back in June. So trying to adjust my thingamabob down here. That spike happened and I call it punch drunk because I'm into fighting so much. But I was playing around with ETH back when it was at like 2,500. I'm sorry. I'm not used to doing videos, guys. I hope someone's getting something. I was playing around with ETH back when it was 2,500, and I got so excited when I got to ride part of this because, to be honest with y'all, I was kind of going through vacation stuff and a career change, and I wasn't staring at the market every day. So it kind of all happened unexpectedly for me. Like when I logged in, I was just way ahead and I didn't really know what was going on. So then I got all into the hype of ETH. If you know what I mean? Like I was all excited about ETH. got lost in it up here. And I was like, fuck this. Somewhere in December, I think around here, I didn't get the very peak, but I was like, I don't want to be in this anymore. And I got out early December, I'm pretty sure. Um, let's look at it though. Back to the 3 month. So right now, we're at 3148. With it trending up daily, there's a long wick right there. And there's already been some stagnation. That, to me, I'm going to just move the camera forward if anyone's watching. To me, this is a good sign. So it's slowly been trending up. It had a dip down, but like it started stagnating right there around 3,100. Had a dip down, which is, this is market behavior. Stuff's not going to always climb, not going to go down, and then it's having this stagnation again. I would feel more comfortable on a buy right here than I would with where Bitcoin was at, like we were just looking at. But again, I'm going to say I'm not playing with crypto until the spring. I feel like there's still a bottom on crypto. This is one of those spots where if we didn't already have this stagnation right here, like I'll be honest with you, right after this dip, I would have said that that's probably a short opportunity. Like somewhere within this first little bit, I would have called a short. But depending on if you don't get out in time, that short bites your ass. If you get out quick, it works good. Most of the things I'm going to be talking about are going to be like getting out quick. Yeah, that's ETH. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. When I look back over here and I see this, and it's like just repeated drop-offs, I'm not into it yet. I feel like there's going to be a lot more stagnation around 31. It could go up to 32 because that's where the previous stagnation was more around 32. I can see it playing between 31 and 32 for several days, but not for me. Not for me. If anything, I would feel more confident. I feel like, on a day or two it's going to be up, but I'd feel more confident in a short if we're talking for a whole nother month. Let's move on. Let me pull the camera back. Welcome to anyone watching or enjoying. This isn't something I normally share or do. I'm doing this more to hold myself accountable. We're going to go to NVIDIA. So NVIDIA in the trading world is a very, very popular topic. Sorry, I just have to keep sliding this mouse around. And as you can see, when we look at it for a year, there's quite a bit of climb going on for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of the biggest talking points in the market for retail traders. I like to use X just to see what's going on in the world. And NVIDIA, any investor you're talking about probably has an opinion on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is an expensive stock for me to want to try to day trade with. It's just out of my price range for me to want to day trade with. So if I'm doing stuff with NVIDIA, it's going to usually last for a month, or it's really small shares. Like I'm going to definitely be under 100 shares for sure. Let's talk about where it's at though right now. I'm going to go back to the 3 month. I like looking at things from a 3 month point. So zoom in a little bit. Oops, I did not mean to click that. We're getting a little bit of like climbing up consolidation right here, but it's playing within a range. Like it's already been up this high and it's coming back down. So it's like it's playing between 86 and 92. It's kind of where the market's keeping it. With the climb up, I'm going to imagine throughout this next week, NVIDIA is going to continue to climb up. At any point in this, I would say, if I'm being honest, I want to buy. If I'm going to do a buy and not have it for more than 2 days, I'm going to try to buy at under 191 and this is probably where I'm expecting it to end, 196. So really, I would play it safe. I would buy under 191 if I could for a sell at probably 195. I think would be a safer thing. I don't want to trust the exact spot because it's like I always get fucked there. According to this chart, 194.48. Let me verify that. 194.65. So yeah, I like the 48 better. 190. So a 191 to a 194.48. I want to write that one down. That's if I'm approaching NVIDIA from a buyer perspective. If anyone's watching, feel free to comment your thoughts or anything. The world's all just in this together. What is today? Today's 1/4. Today's not the fucking 4th, is it? Sunday, yeah. I was thinking it was like the 6th. Okay. Year 26. I'm saying NVIDIA buy 191 or under. Now, with that buy 191 or under, that's also assuming Monday morning we don't get up and in the first 10 minutes this thing tanks. Like, we're going to use some common sense. Like, if I get up, and this is part of why I'm saying 191, if at right now it's at 188.85, it's kind of on a bottom thing. It's going to tick up again at one point is what I'm predicting. But I want it to get close to at least 191 before I'm going to buy in for a buy. With the 191, I'd probably get out at 190. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to set it up where there's $3 in my favor if I win, $1 short if I lose. I hope that makes sense. And what did I say? We were going to sell that buy off 194.48 is what I liked. This is going to take a lot longer than I thought. I thought I was going to go over like 100 stocks. This is going to take way longer than I thought. Okay, if I'm looking at this from a short perspective, if I wanted to approach this from a short, and I'm not really a short guy, 192.60 is showing resistance. And that's another way, it's hard for me to explain that buy at 191 because there's so many variances and levels to playing a trade. Like 191 coming up to 192.16 and having some stagnation is kind of like a way for me to then, if I'm at a buy at 191, for me to kind of think, all right, do I really want to ride this up or do I want to get out now? If it comes up to 192.6 and it starts just shooting back down, that's time to get out. Like that, if you're already in at 191, you can get out and not like lose money. But like if it went up to 192.6 and fell below 191, let me reword this because now we're talking about if we wanted to short it. Yeah, I still just the way I see the market, I get how I'm kind of saying both sides, but that's sort of the point of the video. If I were to be playing the market from a day trade short at 192.6, 192.5, I would throw in a short and I would be looking for it. I would be looking for it to cash out at 191. So let me write that for myself. Short 192.6, out 191. And that's also kind of a testament to why I don't like the short side. Like you can see how just on my perspective, there's only a $1.60 range of where I'm profiting. Where on the other one, I see $3.48. But hey, there's different ways to run it, you know. All right, those are my thoughts on NVIDIA. Hey, we're going to pause for a second. I mean, I'm not pausing the video. I'm here. If anyone's in the chat and wants to talk or ask a question or add your contribution to this, feel free to. I I want to say I'm no pro, but I guess in a way, when you do it for a living, I could say that, but I don't feel like I'm a pro at this. This is just stuff I do. How much time is a perspective in trading? I think is a factor no one talks about. Like, hold on, I need to go grab a bottle of water. All right, what I mean by time being a factor in trading is like how quick we get in and out. And it's like you'll see people online talk about their opinion on a stock or security or whatever it is that they're investing in. And it's easy to say Tesla is going to go down. The hard part is saying when to get in, when it's going to go down, and when to get out. Someone could literally say Tesla is going to go down at the beginning of the year and it spikes up for 3 months and then comes back down to that range, and they're not wrong. Someone could say Tesla is going to go up and it goes up for 3 months, just like we just described, and then it falls off, and they're wrong. It's all kind of just the entry and the exit is really, really important when it seems like, and it's tricky when you're in there after the entry. Like, it's really tricky when you're in there after the entry. One more second. We're almost ready to get back going. This has been 20 minutes and I've only got over 3 stocks. All right, so PLTR, Plantar, another pretty popular stock amongst the masses in retail. Part of the whole what some fear is an AI bubble, or just this, I don't know what to call it, this little AI sector. But as we see last week, didn't do so hot. Took a big dip, took a little cooling off. Let's look at it for the whole year, though. So for the whole year, started out 73, literally went over double. Even though finishing down at the end of the year, it still finished $100, damn near $100 over where it was a year before. So if you were in it last year, it was like 130% return. Even more than that, right? Now it's gotten really, really expensive. All right, I like the 3-month. Let's get it back to where we can see what's going on. All right, so PLTR, it could find support here, I guess. PLTR is definitely something I would be looking at as getting close to a buy. With as exciting as the new year is for people and the way books change and everything, it could definitely just bounce right back. But I would be looking for some stagnation. I don't want to catch a falling knife on this one. I'm looking for it to consolidate a little bit and like develop some support. I don't trust this right now as support. So if I were to have to call a number, if it didn't develop support around 167, I'm next going to look for support around like 157, maybe 58. But until it shows like at least like 4 ticks of it, I mean, that's just not enough. There's just not enough there to think that this is going to stay. Like, there's not enough. It could totally still keep falling. I trust over here, assuming the whole market doesn't collapse, 151 being an absolute bottom. Like, even if this straight fell, I would probably get in at 151. That doesn't mean I'm staying in for the rest of my life, or I'm staying in for over a month or over a week. Let me check a couple more things. Yeah, definitely. So even if we go all the way back to August and September, we had consolidation staying above 151. It looks like the absolute bottom any of it ever touched. Once it did that was 148. Yeah, so I would definitely trust. I still trust that 151 as a solid sign of support. It would have to break down below 140 for me to think that 151 isn't a good buy on PLTR. A lot can change though. Like if the whole sentiment of the market changes, then and we go into downtrending and shit, then that changes everything. I don't trust right here for a buy. So like tomorrow morning, I would actually anticipate this might consolidate 1 or 2 hours and then continue downward. So if anything, I would probably what is it, 167.86 right now. Let me try to make this a little more lined up for y'all. 167.86 now. I would probably be willing to short this at 170 to be assuming the whole market isn't just taking off to the moon and everything's going green. If we get on Monday morning and everything's going green, yeah, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't short PLTR. But say it's like, this sector's over here is going up, the health sector's going down, the tech sector's kind of being stagnant. You getting like the gold and silver, and it's going up, but you got kind of a mix and a match going on. Yeah, 170, I would short PLTR. I'm gonna write this down. I'm not going to. This stock's out of my price range, and this isn't financial advice, but like we test all this stuff out. We'd short 170, and honestly, I just call 168. I would cover at 168. We're talking about these from a day trading perspective, like a short term perspective, not talking long term. It can all go wrong if you're in it too long. It can all go wrong if you're not in it long enough as well. But that's my thoughts on PLTR. If anyone's watching or anything wants to contribute any thoughts, feel free to go ahead. Going to go to AMD. AMD is another popular one. What am I on? Okay. AMD currently at 223.47. Had a lot of stagnation around 215, developing support or resistance depending on what kind of trader you are. I'm thinking. I'm not trying to leave people hanging or in the dark. I'm thinking. There's been so much with this stock. So much with this stock. It can do so many different things. I'm definitely not buying this for a long term. There's no way that I'm going to buy AMD on a long term idea right now. That's not to say over the next 2 weeks it can't climb up. It's just it's too far at the top for me to feel comfortable. Yeah, heck no, I'm not trusting that. If anything, I would be looking probably 234 for a short. Like from thinking on a day trader perspective, like I want to be in and out within 4 hours. 234 on a short. So this is like one of those that it may not come to any fruition for me or for anyone like this week. It may not go up that high. It may start consolidating right here. I don't want to short it right here because I could totally see this going through. What was this? This was a Friday the 19th to a Wednesday the 31st. So like it could totally stay within 220 and probably 227 for a week. Let me actually I'd rather do that. I'd rather approach it like that. That's smart. This is why I do this. I think that this is going to stay between, we'll say 219.04. Let me make sure that was right. That's got two. I'm going to say 219. We're going to say 219. And 232. 219 and 232 for the week. Okay. So AMD stays between 219 and 232 for week. So that would mean your buys at 219, shorts at 232. And we need to look back at, we need to, you got to analyze that every day though. Like that could totally screw up really quick. Like, okay, so say tomorrow we come in and the market goes up and it closes the day at 231.50. I'm not going to be eager to buy a short necessarily on Tuesday as soon as it hits 232. Like the time, you have to watch the market each day, but I still like that range for this whole week as a whole. If I'm making a prediction for the week right now, let's say AMD buys at 219, shorts at 232, you've got to play time into the factor, like how long you're willing to be in the market and how long you're willing to be out. Yeah, we're going to move on because this takes way longer than I thought. Way fucking longer. Okay, we got IBIT and ETHA. I already went over Bitcoin and Ethereum. So even though I really like IBIT and ETHA, I'm going to do ETHA. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're not even going to mess with those ones. I don't want to get lost in how long this takes. All right, so Big Bear AI. I had a good play on Friday with this one. I got in at 548 and I sold at the end of the day at 583, if I recall correctly. Let me see if those, put this on the daily real quick and let me see if these numbers add up. Make sure I'm not full of crap. So it was early in the morning too, like it was before 9. Yeah, I got it really early then. And then the 83 came, it ended up closing at 84. I sold it like, I felt like 2 hours before close. Yeah, it was even up at 85. That paid off well. Let's look at it on for the full year though. So if we would have gotten into Big Bear AI, and this is what I want to focus on time. And I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm pulling my phone to and from the computer. It's all I know how to do. If we would have gotten in Big Bear AI at the start of last year, we would have gotten in around $5. Well, no, we wouldn't. Sorry. The very first day of trading, it opened at 459 and it closed at 411. It had a high of 464. So around the 450 range, it ended the year. Well, we'll just go a whole year to the date. Opening at 560, high of 585, close at 584. So if you would have put it in for a year, it would have been like a dollar trade, which is, it's great depending on how you look at it, but you got to think of your trades, like how long you're going to be in and how much profit is going to be in it. So if you only bought 100 shares of Big Bear AI and you held them for a year and then sold it a year to the date, you would have only made $100. Let's talk about it. The high of the year, it went all the way to 1036. So if you would have held it, if you would have bought it a year ago and held it for like a month and a half, you would have made $500. Does that make sense? Hope so. We're not going to dwell on how to trade or how that works. I just want to implement that in there. All right, go back to the 3 month. Let's talk about how I came up with 550, even though I got 548 on this. So the way I did Big Bear AI, I'm on a 3 month time chart. All I'm doing is I'm looking at these bottoms. These things kind of trend. You can almost draw a straight line across and know, hey, when it's at that point, it might go a little lower. It went a little lower. But it typically spends a majority of the other time above it. So when we went down into the 540s, I was like, okay, this is time to pay attention. Really, I was looking, let me see what I thought the low was going to be. 564. No, that's the high. 552. Sorry. 552 is what I thought the low was going to be. I ended up getting in at, I think, 548, which was right down here. No, that's the 27. So, right around here. And we got to take it up. Right now on Big Bear AI for this week, there's going to be a little bit of play in depending on what the market does because we're at the start of the new year. This is going to be the first full week in the new year. The people might come out hot. People might come out cold. It's kind of going to depend. If I had to guess, like this was a normal week, I'm going to say there's going to be consolidation right here, and it's going to be between 570. I don't like 570. I don't like 570. Hold on. Let me look at something. Let me. Yeah, I do. Okay, 570. We'll say 570 to I'm just going to call it 6. I really don't. I feel like 570 is too close. Like we could lose the 570 within the first 5 minutes of Monday morning live market. I just when the stock is this cheap, like as so we're talking about PLTR earlier, and it's 167. This stock is 584. It gets to messing with my head. I feel like that's just too close of a range. But if I'm going to be looking at Big Bear AI from a buy standpoint, which is more of what I'm thinking, I'm still a buy at 550. Like I'm still a buy at 550. That's still the strongest support we have on the 3-month chart. But if it doesn't come down there and I still got work to do, I still need to make money. Yeah, 570 is what I'm feeling because it's slowly developing the support. I'm definitely not shorting this. I'm definitely not shorting Big Bear AI right now. Now the whole market might collapse. It might be an AI bubble. But all right, let me write this down so I know what I said. I'm saying Big Bear AI for the week. That's a bold statement too. I'm saying it for the whole week. Like that's kind of saying it's going to stagnate a lot. It stays between 570 and we're just going to call it 6 because we're just going to call it 6 and 6. I don't trust a short at 6 though. Like I would not short Big Bear AI at 6. The strongest advice I have on this one is buying below 550. I'm going to write that down. Buy below 550. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is from a day trading perspective. If I'm buying from 550, I'm not holding it for like a week. Like I'm not going to give a chance for the bubble to catch an AI bubble be real and it catch me and fall off. If I buy at 550 or under it, I am going to sell before it hits 6. On this one, I sold at 583. It depends on the time of the day. Like if I get in and I get say tomorrow morning this thing falls to 550, which is very possible, and I get in and within an hour it bounces back to 583. Well, I'm probably going to hold it a lot longer in the day and let it develop support and see if it's going to keep climbing and maybe even possibly turn it into a swing trade. But absolutely 640s, 630s, I'm getting the F out. I don't trust it to go back up to 7 anytime soon from a day trading perspective. So Big Bear AI, I figure this week $5.70 to $6 where the market's going to kind of consolidate it at. But if it falls below 550, I'm putting it as a buy. Let us move on. I don't even know this one. I only look at this one because of Big Joey options. This is Bitfarms Ltd. The ticker is BITF. It closed Friday at $2.60. What the hell is this shit? Whoa. Okay. So this is we're now on the yearly. For the most of the year, between 80 and 120, 130. Then in the fall, it took off. And now we're coming back down to earth. I don't like getting into the reasons and politics of why things do things, although they're relevant. You got to do your own research on that. So we're not even going to talk about why it did all of this. That's not what I do, and I don't think I would be very good at it. So I'm going to go back to the 3-month, and we're going to look at it like how I would look at a day trade. Okay, so on this one, when I first look at the yearly, I still keep that in mind. We have to account for the fact there was a huge spike and it's kind of coming back down to earth. So even on the 3-month, we're still seeing, even though this one's in October, and that, yeah, because it spiked in September, so it started coming down. We're on a downtrend on a 3-month. Like, we anticipate that this is going to keep coming down. Like, there's a slight change that can give buyers hope. And we're going to break into that right here. I'm just zooming it to make, I want this to take up more of the screen so you can see it clear. All right. So when it started coming down, it hit this bottom, started establishing higher lows, came back down to it, got some support, broke it, and then it kind of started acting like it was going to take off again maybe, and then slowly came down. Things that I don't like in this climb is not anywhere near the length of time that the fall is. It is falling so much more than it is going up. So like, these buys have to be quick. Like, you got to be in and out with these. These are not buys that I want to be in there for a long, long time. It's literally just repeating itself on smaller cycles right here. Until it gets some news, it's going to do it again. This is going to trend down. This is every bit of a short for me. Every bit of a short for me. What's this high? 265. If it hits 260, so I'm going to write this one down. BITF. 265 short. I don't like how long it stagnates though. 265 is a short, and I feel every bit of comfortable taking it to 251. This might be a trade that I really, really look at. It's a short range. If someone wanted to think of it long term, I mean, gosh, I would feel safe. I'm trying to get my mouse lined up. 233. You could go all the way to 233. That's on a short, and I don't like doing shorts. But this is not a buy right now. This isn't a buy. I wouldn't trust this unless it broke like 275 and came back down below and had like support at 260s. Like, there's no way I'm buying this until it. No way. 265 short. Not financial advice. I don't know what the fuck Tilray is. Let's read about this motherfucker. It's a fucking weed one. It's a weed one. I'm not buying that. I don't trust that at all. Let's look at it for a year. Oh my God, that's chaos. This is chaos. Look at that. Look at that chaos. All right, so we got solid support yearly around right under $4, and we're at 972. Woo-wee. Goodness gracious. I do not like that for a buy. Let's look at a 3-month. So it's still got that spike over there that we can see. It jumped up to 16. I don't trust this shit at all. There's going to be catalysts in this type of stock that's going to make it feel like it's about to do something. I could see this going up to 1070-ish, 1050, and then short. I'm going to say that. That's what I'm going to say. TLRY short at 1050. And again, these are from day trading perspectives, not financial advice. I anticipate the new part of the market's still going to let it climb a little more. It's downtrending too much. Until there's a huge catalyst with marijuana again or the company itself, that's not fucking going to keep going. That's just my thoughts. Let's keep going. Keep rocking and rolling. We're at 46 minutes into the stream, and I was thinking I was going to have to add a bunch of stocks. I thought I'd go through this so quick, and I'm barely halfway through. APLD, let me remind myself of what they do for a living. Applied Digital Corp is a technology and company which engages in the provisions of development and operation of data centers which provide computing power. Segments designing, constructing, and operating data centers. So like tailored to support high-powered density applications like HPC and AI. So they like build data centers that people that make AI and use AI need. Okay, cool. In the middle of the AI bubble still. How high did this bad boy get in a year? Pushed 40, and we're at 28. We're at a freaking injunction. This isn't something I would play with. I could see it going up still to 29. But I don't know if it does it right away. We've established support. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I do actually like this one as a buy. Early in the day. So, I'm trying to get the numbers back where they are. I'll get better at doing this over time. So APLD. Let me look at one or two more things. Boy, it did a lot of climbing there. It's got to have some time to come back down. It's all the way 28. That's probably where we'd want to be right here. What is that, 2750? Okay, APLD by approximately 2750. We're selling at 29 or 2890, depending on how cautious you want to play it. Like those right on the dot numbers usually can be a little bit of a pain. And these are short term though. I don't think I like this for a long-term trade. It's still downtrending on the 3-month. It's established some points of support here. But I mean, lower high. This isn't a high. This is just a freak moment. This is not a high right here. This isn't a fucking high. So there's no higher high. Lower high. And that was at that lower high It's 29.46. Like I'm not even gonna risk going all the way to 29.46. That's why I'd say get out at 29. I could see it coming back up 29, maybe 29.25 and going right back down. I could also see it going down, but see, even if it comes down to 27.50, I'd probably still be willing to risk it. If it starts stagnating at 28, I'd get out. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. TSLL. So this is Tesla. A Tesla, what do they call them? Securities. It's just a way to invest in Tesla at a cheaper price to where the movement affects your portfolio more drastically. Let's go to our yearly. This was one of the first investments I ever played with. All right, on the yearly, gosh, last year it was really high. Anyways, those are like all-time highs, I'm pretty sure, at the beginning of the year. So you would have lost. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, you would be way down if you bought it at a year. But it dipped down so many times. So even without going through this, I can tell you around $8 is where I found a buy early in the year. There was a lot of times you could have made a shit ton of money. The last I looked at this, the last I like shared with anyone, I was saying $16 is the buy. And when I say $16 on TSLL, it's kind of like anywhere in 16. You want to get more specific with your daily and monthly looks. But TSLL, I really like to prefer as a swing trade because it will do some big moves. Like it will do some big moves. And when you're playing with 100 shares, trying to make $100, like in 2 or 3 days, you can put some dents in some stuff. I still like 16. I'm still on 16. I've got deeper thoughts too on TSLL. So right now it's at 18.12. I could see it getting some stagnation right here. Let me make this video. Y'all can see getting some stagnation right here, anywhere right in here, and having a spike or two or whatever. But I still really like 16. Looks like it's fallen under it 2 or 3 times. What's got me so much on Tesla is it's like Elon and the company knows how to play the stock. And I think Elon's in strong at either 12 or 14. Now, he has the actual Tesla stock, I would assume. I don't think he's buying TSO. And I forget my conversion where I get the numbers and all that off the top of my head. But the moment it starts getting too close to 14 or 12, whichever one it is, I feel like that's exactly when we're going to see the Roadster info drop. And Roadster, I think, is going to have something really, really special in it. Whether it's effective or not, I don't know. But the public is going to react to it. The public is going to have a lot of interest in it, I think. I don't usually like to apply what companies are actually doing, but Tesla is kind of something special. They're a little different. So yeah, TSLL, I'm still saying buy at 16. It depends on how long we're going to be in it. I like to sell at 18.50 to get out quick. You might be able to ride it to 20. You might be able to. I'm going to put sell at 18. And if anyone's just joining us, feel free to comment or whatever. I'm talking about these from a day trading perspective. On the swing trading, we're looking at it from like being from Monday to Thursday or something. We're not looking at swing trading for 3 months. Let's look at the SPY. I don't mess with the SPY, but you got to keep an eye on it. I SPY, baby. So let's go to the yearly. Well, we're not right at the all-time highs now, but we're consolidating underneath all-time highs. We've made some really, really minor gains in our all-time highs over the last, 3 months? It was like, I feel like November and December. Everyone, I feel like, is a little fearful of this AI bubble. Let's go back to our 3-month. A lot of stagnation on a 3-month, depending on how we want to look at it. Percentage based or number based can change a lot. Okay, so closed at 683.17. This isn't an area. This is kind of like a coin flip area to me. Like it can go either way, and that's why on like the first half of the trades I went through, I'm like, I'm not sure. I wouldn't necessarily even take a trade on this. We need to figure out if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. And that's a really obvious statement, obviously. But if it comes past, I'd say, what is that, 686? So we'll call it, if it beats 687, I would take it to 690. If it came below 682, I would take it to about 680.50. Let me try to say that again. So if it passed 687 this week, SPY goes above 687. At 687, I would take it by to, what did I say? We're going to say, we're going to play it safe and play 689. It's a $2 swing. All right. If it comes out and it goes down, let me rework this. So we're at 683. If it comes down to if it goes below, like if we'll say if it goes below 682.20. We short to 680.25. Maybe. We'll see what the hell happens. I don't actually invest in SPY, so I want to do and I don't invest in QQQ. It's doing the same exact fucking thing. It's literally like the same exact thing. So we're gonna go straight to open. Open's a fun one. Open's the Open Army. It's a retail cult stock. There's been, oh God, this one's gonna be fun on the year. Look at that. Look at that. So a year ago, it was $1.40. It's now 607. This is one of those stocks you can learn a lot on because the perspective of time matters on it. If you bought it a year ago, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm up 500%. But if you bought it halfway through the year in September at 868, you're pissed off because it's down. You know what I'm saying? Like the way time matters is such a factor in trading that no one teaches or talks about. You can't even really tell who's a good trader or not because they don't account for the time at the time at which they close out their trade. The time when you enter and the time when you close out matters so much. And the ability to last for time is kind of a talent and also a little bit of luck. You got a bunch of money, you can make time work for you. But, all right, let's go to 3-month. Make this a little smaller. All right, so 3-month. Let me move it a little bit. I don't want to lose that up marker over there. So this is our 3-month. Guys, we're downtrending on the 3-month. Let's make no mistake about it. There was a chance for us to break that downtrend. When they did that earnings call, it freaking tanked where their profit margin shrunk or wasn't good enough or whatever. But anyways, neither here nor there. Had a chance to break that downtrend, but it just went right back to it, started another one. We do the downtrend by lower highs. Lower highs. I don't want to get into the details of lower highs. This one has a couple that I could point out, but we're just going to keep on accepting just a simple way of looking at it. Lower highs. However, this low right here is at 565. And this low back here, 618, 612, 525. Got a low in here. 615. That like 550 range is a pretty solid support, it feels like. You can go all the way back to September with it. It's like that's where we really got this whole battle started. It comes back here and it seems to spike up. Open's next earning report is going to be a big tell in what happens. It's, in my opinion, Open's one of those stocks that there's been so much retail and just people on the internet talking about it and be involved in it. It's going to have to show things on paper for it to break this trend. Like, it's going to have to make the big whales that are actually looking at fundamentals and stuff to change their tune. Now, several are still optimistic. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see the next earnings until probably February. Like, it takes some time to put everything out. They exceeded the revenue. I think most people involved in this knew they were going to. Was it 80 million? But they exceeded it by like 100 million. The earnings before, it doesn't matter. Everyone's looking at that profit margin. Right now, on a day trading perspective, I wouldn't be against buying Open under $6. For a long time, I was saying I felt comfortable buying Open between 550 and 640. And I know that's a big range, but the way it swings and the time in which you can get in and out, I felt like that was a good longer term trade. And it's come down into those ranges multiple times where you could have made decent profit. This next earning is going to make a big spike one way. It's going to go either up or it's going to go down and probably go down into the fours if it's a bad swing. Like, and fours is going to be the new area where it swings around. When it comes up, it's not going to stay up. It could something great could happen and it could break 950 and it could go above 10. It's not going to stay there until they continue to prove it for multiple times or some huge catalyst comes in. I'm only talking about all these details because I really like watching Opendoor. This is an area, though, from a day trading perspective, I would be willing to buy and set limits and stuff for. So honestly, right now at 607, if we watch how these swings happen, 607 is the price that it closed at. If we watch how these swings happen, comes up, there's going to be a big jump. I don't know how to word what I'm trying to express. It's doing the same thing over. I expect a big jump to 650 at some point this week. So I don't know where to set the price point. I would not buy Open within the first 5 minutes. If it jumps to like 645 within the first 5-10 minutes of the market when everyone's going crazy, that's not where I'm buying it. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't know if it's going to go back under those fives, though. I'm going to say 598. Open buy 598. Sell 6. See, 650 is what I think the top is, but I like playing safe, so I'm going to say 645. These are approaching things from a day trading perspective. Short-term trades. Open is also another one like TSL where I'll turn it into a swing trade with the perspective of being like just for the week. It's just my thoughts. I don't know if I want to get into these other ones. We've already exceeded an hour. We're going to jump to Beat. Beat, I think, is going to be interesting for people this year. Beat went crazy in the last 3 months, or the last month of December, actually. So that's what I'm going to look at. We're going to put it on the 1 month scale. We're just going to look at it when it was a shot above 120, 146. The way this hasn't fallen off, I get how it's downtrending. Well, hold on. I still like Beat. I still like Beat. I would buy Beat at 240. Hold on. It's probably going to go lower than 240. This is 40. It's lower than that. 236 is what I like. I'd buy Beat 236. Where do we get out at? The most important part. We don't just buy and hope that everything in the world takes off to the moon. 250 to 269. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Give me a second. I'm going to say 254. Now, I'm also looking at that from the point of, like with a smaller price stock, a person can afford more as compared to like SPY, QQQ. So it's like, I want that tighter window. Like, so that one is a 18-cent window. When you have 1,000 shares of that though, that's $180. Like it starts working for you. But we've reached the end of this. I didn't expect to go for an hour. I'm glad I did that. I got my notes wrote down. I hope people got something from that. I don't know. That was fun. I don't know if fun's the right word, but yeah, that's going to be my trading plan for the day, for the week on my watch list. I wanted to go over more. If you watch this later after the live stream or something, feel free to comment, whatever. I just like talking. But that's going to be it. Big time players make big time plays. We do big things every round, baby. Y'all have a good one.